Hey everybody, welcome back to Rachel Reads. My name is Rachel. I love to read and write Christian fiction, and today I am doing a tag video. This week I am doing the Finally Fall book tag. I was tagged by Celestia, and thank you so much for tagging me. I'm super excited to do this. First prompt is, in fall, the air is crisp and clear, a book with a vivid setting. Also, my shelves are in disarray because I was trying to plan some of these out early, so I can grab them, but let me grab them and I'll get to that. So for books with a vivid setting, I picked two. Of course, I seem to not be able to pick one book. There's always two. And those books are A Rumored Fortune by Joanna Davidson Politano and Witchers by Nadine Bernes. Yeah, these both have very clear vibes, but they're very different. This was the first book by Politano that I've ever read, and I loved it so much the first time I read it, and I was very, very clearly able to picture the setting. And it's set in a vineyard, so it was done very well, and it has a very strong fall vibe to it, so I think that's just a great pick. And yeah, I love her books because in some of them there's quotes at the beginning of the chapter from different things. I don't know how well you can see it or if it's gonna show up, but there are quotes. And yeah, I just think her books have just the best settings. There are so many I could have picked, but I picked a few of them for later prompts maybe. Also, the fact that the other one I would have picked is either one I talk about a lot or set in a different place. So this one, and then Witchers has a very clear setting. By the cover, it is very much like a fall winter book, and you really can tell that there's a part where they're going through trials, and that's very clear. You can really see everything. But even the kingdom, hold on, let me show you the map. Here is the map. I don't know how well you can see it. That is the map of Winterrune, which is the country that the book is set in, but it has a very clear setting, and I was actually able to picture it fairly well and from scene to scene, which I think is amazing. So prompt number 2, nature is beautiful but also dying, a book that is beautifully written but also deals with heavy topics like loss or grief. And my first answer, I think I've talked about it once, and that is The Merciful Scar by Nancy Rue and Rebecca St. James. This book has really heavy topics to it, but I think it's written really well, and it's just a beautiful storyline. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and yeah, I mean, it's very sad. It made me cry, but in that instance, it's very beautifully written, and I think it's very well done. If you're sensitive to self-harm or anything like that, any sort of blood or family loss, I would be careful. But at the same time, I think it's handled very well. The other book, I don't own a copy yet. I really want to, but that is The Words We Lost by Nicole Deese. For one, I love the cover. This cover is just beautiful. But it deals with the loss of her friend, and, it is a very hard topic of loss, but there is such a bright, shining beacon of hope in the story. So I think it's personally very well done with everything that goes on. So yeah, that's also beautifully written, but it does deal with loss. Prompt number 3 is fall is also back to school season, a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I personally don't read a lot of nonfiction. I would like to, I would love to get into C.S. Lewis and a lot more, but for this, for that prompt, I am going to say the Bible, just because it teaches me something new every morning. Every day you can always learn something from it. And prompt number 4, in order to keep you warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. A fictional family, household / friend group that you'd like to be a part of. And I do have a few answers for this. Okay, I have 3 books. 2 of them are similar and 1 of them is not. And that one is The Wonderland Trials. There is a team in here. It's Team Heart. I don't know if it has a name besides Team Heart. I think it is just Team Heart. But yeah, they are such a great group, especially in the second book when you get to see them grow. But yeah, they are such a good group. And I think, besides the fact that it's deadly trials, I would love to be part of this friend group besides that fact. But yeah, I would love to be part of the whole Alice, Chess, Nave, Jack, Willow, Sophia, and Maddie. Yeah, I think they're just a great group, and I really love them. The next book, I'm going to say the Lauren Holbert group, this is book 2. I don't own book 1 yet. I want to own the rest of the books of the series. I've read 1 through 3, just not 4 and 5. because they're like a spin-off series. But yeah, I would love to be part of Lauren Holbrook's friend group. They are hilarious. She's kind of insane in some instances, but she's really funny. Like there's Brandon, Ruby, Sean, Lauren, Ryan. There's a lot of people. I think one's like Hannah. But yeah, any of Erin Mangum's friend groups I would love to be a part of. She just does hers really well, and I'd love to be a part of that whole friend group aspect. And the last one I have for that prompt is Izzy's Family, which this is authentically Izzy. I'll put the other 2 covers up here. I don't talk about this book, or I don't know, I might, but I really did love this book a whole lot, and I haven't read books 2 and 3. I want to. I know book 3 hasn't come out, but I really want to read book 2. But yeah, it's like an epistolary novel, but it's funny because like there are emails like between her and her 2 cousins or 3 cousins, and they're absolutely hilarious. Like to be a part of this family would have been funny just because there's so much like drama, and then it's funny, and it's hilarious. So I would love to be part of this family friend group. Question number 5. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground, a pile of fall color spines. And I don't know if you can see them, but they were peeking out a little bit, so let me get them. So obviously based on the thumbnail you could see it, but I want to make sure you see all of them. These are all of them. I'll try to go through them quickly. I held them with one hand, but you know, not now. There are a lot of books, and I think they're mostly fall colored. I don't think they're too far off, but I'll go through each of the books very quickly. The Princess Search by Melanie Sellier. This is a Ugly Duckling retelling. Very well done. Great content. Very sweet story. The next is The Haunting of Bonaventure Circus by Jamie J. Wright. This is pretty good. I am planning on rereading this, so you'll see it come up in a later prompt, so I won't say much about it right now. But this is another one, and it is from the library, but I would probably love to own a copy. Heart in the Line by Karen Whittemire. This is a historical romance, and it's Christian, and I enjoyed it fairly well. I think this is book 2, and I don't own book 1, but it can be read as a standalone. Overall, pretty great. I have Sins of the Past it's a novella collection by Dee Henderson, Danny Petrie, and Lynette Eason. From what I remember, Danny Petrie and Lynette Eason's were my favorites. But this also could be the one where I like Dee Henderson's. I've read a few of her books and did not like them. But there is one of her novellas that I really love, so I can't really remember. Next is Life Flight by Lynette Eason. This is Christian romantic suspense. It does have a serial killer, so if that's not your thing, wouldn't recommend, but at the same time, it's very well done, has great faith content. Not my favorite in the series, but you know, it's all fine. The next is Dear Mr. Knightley by Catherine Ray. I absolutely love this book. It is also epistolary. Very well done. Not a lot of faith content, but there is a little bit, and overall pretty good. Just not a fan of her books now for multiple reasons, but this one was really good. She's getting better. Castle of Refuge by Melanie Dickerson. So far, this is my favorite in the series, but I haven't read the 2 most recent ones. But yeah, this one's definitely my favorite. It's really good. Ugly Duckling retelling. It's a beautiful story. And I know Amanda from Book Club Amanda really loves this one. And I also loved it. So, highly recommend. I wouldn't say skip the first book, but at the same time, the second one's a whole lot better. The Looking Glass Illusion by Sarah Ella. Y'all have heard me talk about this book so much. I love it. And it's one of my favorite books by her. If not my favorite, including the first book. But yeah, this is just really good. Stunning story. Christian fantasy. Highly recommend. And then the last one is The Skin Map by Stephen R. Lawhead. I gave this book like 4 stars. It was okay. It's the best one in the series, even though I haven't read books 4 and 5 because I didn't know there was a 4 and 5. It's fine. But yeah, it's okay. The rest of the series is like downhill, but the first one I think is the best. So, you know, I really wish it was a trilogy because like it barely held my attention. What little of it did hold my attention was like barely there, but first book is some of the best. And it's like Christian, like portal fantasy, I guess. Well, it's like semi-Christian. There is some faith content, but not a lot. It's okay. Not bad. Not my favorite. I would be okay getting rid of it. I'll say that. Prompt number 6. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. A book where somebody's telling a story. I only have one book for this, and it kind of only counts. That is A Time to Die by Nadine Brandes. When you read like the last chapter of the last book, it makes sense what I'm saying, but I can't spoil it for you, so I'm just gonna say this one. Prompt number 7, The Nights Are Getting Darker, a dark, creepy read. This is about the creepiest book I've read, I want to say. Yeah. I mean, I've read other books by her, but for this, I'm just gonna say The Haunting of Bonaventure Circus by Jamie J. Wright. I am planning on rereading this, but I'll get to that in a bit. Is this the creepiest by her? I don't know. Because let's just say the 3 I've read by her, 2 of them I did not enjoy at all. This one, I liked it, but I mean, I forgot most of it, and I really want to reread it. But a lot of her newer books sound really good, so I want to get to those because they just sound a whole lot better. So I do want to try to get into her again. But yeah, I think this is like maybe the creepiest one. But I mean, it's not that scary even, but it is my favorite by her. So this one. Prompt number 8, The Days Are Getting Colder, a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. And for this, I'm going to say The Princess Pact by Melanie Cellier. Yeah, this book is like 249 pages, so it's very short, but it's very good. It's clean fantasy, but I think it's very well done. It's a beautiful series. This one's just like my favorite in the book. But it doesn't feel like it goes super quick. Like it definitely, the pacing is done very well. Number 9, Fall returns every year, an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. While there are many books I would love to reread if possible, the 2 I picked, I don't know if it's a favorite, but like I said, I want to reread it. I want to read to see if it's a favorite because I did enjoy it out of all of her books. This is the one I've enjoyed the most. So it might be a favorite. But I do want to reread it. The other book is The Lost Melanie by Joanna Davis Napolitano. It's not honestly like that creepy. It really isn't. But it does take place in an asylum, so I guess that is kind of creepy. And there is like a mention of a ghost, but it's not an actual ghost, obviously. But yeah, I would love to return to this book. I read it. I pre-ordered it. I don't know if I pre-ordered it or just bought it. I can't remember, but I would love to read this book again. I think it's so well done. There's one like scene in here where they meet characters from A Midnight Dance. So if you want to read this book, you have to read that one first and then read this one. But yeah, I would love to return to this one soon. Prompt number 10, Fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Favorite cozy reading accessories, and I have a few to give. First one, I have a book light, but it does not work very well at all. I need to get a new one, but this one's like $8, I think, from Barnes & Noble or Books A Million. I think it's from Books A Million. I need a better one. This one is horrible, but it is there. I also have this mug or glass that I used to drink coffee from. I've made tea in it too. And if I drink something hot, I'll like drink it from a regular mug. But yeah, I love this glass so much. So there's this one. Last thing's pretty big, but it's something I highly recommend. It is this giant, like, it's essentially like blanket hoodie is what I call it. I'm trying to like get it out so like you can see it. Like it has a hood like a hoodie, but it's ginormous. I don't know how well you can see it because it has like a pocket and it's just very warm and very big. It's also great if you think you might cry in a book because you can just like, you can pull the sleeves up and just like sit there and hold it. Like if you're reading, even if you're reading like an ebook or a physical book, it's great for either or because like it's just so warm and cozy and big. But that's, I guess, like all the accessories. And the last prompt is tag someone, and the only people I can think of to tag is Tabitha Gabrielle and Lindsay from BFCG. I hope I said that right. But yeah, that is all for today's video. Thank you so much again to Celestia for tagging me. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I'll see you next time. I hope God bless you today, and go enjoy the fall weather if there is anywhere you live. Bye.